Well, Egyptian history revisited. The Sphinx. The old riddle of the Sphinx. Now, as you can see, very nicely honed feet. Very ordinary, but very nicely honed. But it turns out back in the day, there were grooves. So they decided to hone them off, did they? Yes, I'm afraid the images of the Sphinx really leave a lot to be desired. There seems to be some very strange images indeed. Now these images suggest to me that this is being carved out of a rock platform, and the one on the right is a more advanced stage, because if you look at the top of the head too, they've taken a little bit off the top of the head by the look of it, and it's also a bit narrower. Not to mention the missing pyramid alone makes it a bit suspicious, but this certainly shows that there's some things wrong. And when you look at enough images, you start to see, when did this first occur? It looks to me like the head is a bit older, but the actual body idea, uncovering it from the sand, I doubt it was all sand around it. Like, this is a pretty fraudulent looking image here, but this is showing again how they've honed out those paws in recent times. Again, this image is big time evidence that they're cutting this thing away as they uncover it, uncovering rock half the time and putting a bit of sand around to say that they're getting it from the sand. Look at this one here, the faceless image. No face, and certainly looks rocky. Certainly looks a bit rocky to me there too. Very strange, all these different images, and the head looking different. Look at this one, like the Statue of Liberty. And again, rocky ground, sandy ground, different looking heads, different looking positions with the pyramid. This one, very strange image, you know, if you're trying to record something real. And look at this one here. So when did they uncover this? Look here, it looks like an earlier time than that last one, but it's not. It's been covered up. They want you to believe it gets covered up and not again. I read where there was a story of a pharaoh who they said had to uncover the sand. But I wonder myself whether that isn't just a little story that's been written into the history books to give us an older impression of these things. Look at that, very rocky looking, isn't it? Very rocky looking indeed. So stay tuned, we'll be looking further at the pyramids themselves. Now look at the little head that's depicted here at the base of the Sphinx. Now this obviously isn't a real photo, it's sort of some old painting, but why would they paint a head there? Or were they going to have one and then decided not to? See, another real nice little discrepancy there. And this here shows clearly how it's just chiseled out of the rock. And that head sitting there. And look at the neck on the head. It's a lot different to some of the other older images. So it looks like it's had a few updates easily. Easily seen updating it as equipment enabled them to make a bigger replica of the last one. And look at that there. Again, showing the rock clearly. Showing the rock clearly. Well, stay tuned, more coming. And finally, this painting, is this telling us a story here? Have a look at those mountains there. They look a bit like pyramids, don't they? You could look at them and think, well, maybe we can make a pyramid out of that. And maybe that's the real story of these pyramids. They're big rock outcrops they chiseled down. I mean, I don't know about that, but that painting is saying that to me. And certainly it looks rather new, the head here, doesn't it? And a slightly different design. So this was the artist's impression of what it was going to look like. And that ladder I'm not liking that old Jacob's ladder there either. So it looks to me just like many other things, that all of this might have a serious Masonic touch. There's a little Masonic touch in so many things.